welcome to New As Practical Science. I'm Dr Woodroffe. Today we're going to be doing an experiment called examining oxides. You'll need one of the sheets that's on the system. Your teacher will upload it for you. It's a practical sheet that looks like this. All right, it's called Examining Oxides. And in this practical, you will use a flame to oxidize a metal, combine it with oxygen from the air. You will discover the chemical properties of metal and non-metal oxides. Okay, you will be using inquiry processes to use appropriate methods and apparatus for an experiment, make accurate observations of colour change, record observations using a table, identify patterns of data, and you'll also be explaining patterns in data. Now all this is on the sheet, okay? So the first thing we're going to look at on the first page of the sheet, it says, prediction. What effect will the metal oxide mixed with water have on blue and red litmus paper? Here we have blue and red litmus paper. So just stop the video for a minute and then write your prediction in. Thank you. Right, next step, on the second page we have the method. Okay, now it says, first step, set up a Bunsen burner and heat-proof mat on your desk. You can see I have this here. I've already lit my Bunsen burner. It's on the safety flame. I have my safety goggles on and I'm wearing a lab coat. So we mustn't forget safety. Next step, it says, collect some tongs, a watch glass and a piece of magnesium. Now I have a pair of tweezers rather than a pair of tongs, but it will do the same thing. I have my magnesium and I have a watch glass. Now I've labelled my watch glass magnesium oxide because that's where the magnesium oxide is going to go. Safely light your Bunsen burner and then turn it to the blue flame. Okay, so my Bunsen burner here's got the yellow flame, all right? I'm going to turn it to the blue flame in a second once I've picked up my magnesium. So I'll get my magnesium ribbon. Okie dokie. So my magnesium ribbon here I have in the tongs, all right? I'm going to turn my Bunsen to the blue flame. All right, then it says carefully pick up the magnesium with the tongs and set it alight. Take care not to look directly at the bright white flame, all right? So here we go, I'm going to heat my magnesium. There, it's heating, it's heating. Nice bright white light, lots of smoke being produced. I'm going to just heat it again just in case there's any left over. It looks like it's all gone. I'll turn my Bunsen burner back to the safety flame. There we have. Then it says, collect the magnesium powder in the watch glass, right? The magnesium oxide powder. So I popped it into my watch glass. All right, and now we have our magnesium oxide. There's only a small amount. You can see there's a white solid, okay? So now it says, turn off the Bunsen burner. Okay, I'll just leave it on the safety flame because I'm going to do something with it in a second. And then it says, step 7, add a few drops of water to the watch glass containing the magnesium dioxide. Okay, now I'm going to put some drops of water on it. So I put a few drops in. So you can see, here's my magnesium oxide, and I've put it in some water. And the next step looks like I'm going to be testing it. So then it says, test the solution with blue and red litmus paper, noting down their colours in a suitable table. So I'll start that with a piece of blue litmus paper. So here's my blue litmus paper. And I'm going to test that. I'm going to put it into my magnesium oxide in water. Okay, so you can see what's happened. It's been dipped in the magnesium oxide in water, my blue litmus. There you go, you can make your observation. I'll put that there. And then I'll do the same with my red litmus paper. So here's my red litmus paper, and I'll dip that in my magnesium oxide in the water. Okay, And there you should be able to observe the red litmus paper. Okay, so now you need to record what's happened in a suitable results table. Okay, you need to record what's happened to the red and the blue litmus paper. Now, as a little treat, I'm going to show you what happens when we take a non-metal and we burn that in oxygen. So the non-metal I've got is sulfur. All right, I have a jar here with sulfur labelled on it. It's a nice yellow powder. I have a gas jar of oxygen, and I have what we call a deflagrating spoon, which is a spoon on a wire with a lid. Now the lid is at the right height, so that's ready to go. So I'm doing this to help you with part 2 and part 3 of the questions, okay? So you can see for yourself the difference between metal and non-metal oxides. So here's my sulfur. I'll just scoop up a bit of sulfur from the jar. Here's my, I'm going to move it over a bit. My flame and my gas jar, my salt, my oxygen. I'll move that over there. Right, now I'm going to light the sulfur. All right, and when it's alight, when it's burning, I'll put it into the jar of oxygen, the gas jar of oxygen, and I want you to have a look at the colour as it burns. I want you to have a look at what happens when it goes into the oxygen. All right, so I'm going to start burning the sulfur. Now I want to make sure the sulfur is actually burning on its own. I don't want it to just melt. So I will be able to tell it's burning on its own because it should burn with a blue flame. All right. So it looks like it's burning on its own now. Here we go. Pop it in there, move that. So you can see now in pure oxygen, you get a lovely blue flame as the sulfur burns in the oxygen. You can see I lift it up before it goes out. There's our lovely blue flame of the sulfur burning. And the sulfur is reacting with the oxygen to make a gas. It's making sulfur dioxide gas. Now I'm going to test that gas. All right, I'm just going to take the spoon out, put the lid back on quickly to stop the gas escaping. I'll move my Bunsen out of the way. Okay. There we go. Now, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of water in there, like we did in the first part. We put water in our product and put water in here to dissolve it. Put some water in, put the lid back on, I'll give it a little shake. Now I'm not going to use blue and red litmus. I'm going to use another indicator called universal indicator, which you should have seen. Now, can you remember what colour does universal indicator go when you have an acid solution? What colour does universal indicator go when you have an alkali solution? So let's have a look. I'm going to put some squirts of this in there and get the lid off. There you go. Yeah, put the lid back on, and then you can see sulfur dioxide goes a nice red colour with universal indicator. So can you tell me what that is? Is that an acid or is that an alkali? Okay, so use the information that you've seen in this experiment to help you answer the questions 2 and 3, and then you need to predict on question 4 what you think you would get for those 4 elements, and then carry on with the remaining questions on that sheet called Examining Oxides. I hope that's been useful for you guys. I hope to see you again soon doing another practical in chemistry. Thank you. Bye.